Hi everyone, let's make a little tiny octopus on the 22 pin adding knitting machine. Right now I am casting onto the machine every other stitch. And then I will be working my first row. Using my loom pick to make sure I get all the threads over the hooks, because the first few rows are a little tricky on the addy. And I'll be starting my second row. And the threads are still being a little tricky. There we go, I turn it on. Making itself on. I've been working 40 rows. And here I am wrapping up the 40 rows. And I'm going to cut the yarn. And cast off the machine by picking up every stitch one at a time. Once you get the first few picked up, you can pick up more than one at a time. Now we have it off the machine. I'm going to get the machine out of the way. There we are. And I'm going to cut a scrap piece of yarn, probably about 2 feet long or so. And I'm going to count up from where we cast it off 10 stitches. And then I'm going to weave it in every other stitch all the way around, making sure to stay on the same row to create a drawstring. All the way around to where I started. And now we'll just ignore that drawstring for a second. And we're going to fold it in half like we're making a tiny hat. And figure out which strings are the ends and which strings are from the drawstring, and tuck the drawstring back in there. I flipped it inside out just to make sure I had the drawstrings pulled back in. And we're going to cinch up one, and then we'll cinch up the other. And then we're going to tie both ends together. And I like to tie it 3 times to make sure it's extra secure. And cut the ends. We don't need those anymore. And we're going to flip it inside out, but now this is right side out. And give it a good stretch. And we're going to add the eyes. And the eyes are going to be 1 stitch up from the drawstring. And if you count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is where the second eye will go. So there's 4 stitches in between the eyes. Unless you like them closer, it's personal preference. Now we'll grab some stuffing. I like to get a little bit in there, and then I will close up the drawstring a little bit. And then add a little bit more stuffing until it feels full. And then close up the drawstring the rest of the way, making sure to push the stuffing in. And you kind of got to hold the strings kind of tight while you're doing the second knot. And since this is not the finishing knot, I just tied it twice. Now we're going to put the longer end on our needle to create the legs. To create the legs, you will feed the needle in through the center and out through a stitch. To do this, I like to, because it's 22 pins and 8 legs, so 24 divided by 8 is 3 stitches, but we only have 22. So I like to do 3 legs at 3 stitches apart, 1 leg at 2, 3 legs at 3 stitches apart, and 1 leg at 2 for all 8 legs. And we will just keep working our way around, feeding it through the center, counting our stitches, and pulling it tightly as we go along to create the legs. And I do run out of time at the end after creating all the legs, because I can only record 10 minutes at a time. So after the recording ends, I feed the yarn back into the center of the octopus's legs, and I will just make one more final drawstring around the center to really close it up so you can't see the stuffing, and then feed it back out and tie it to the little end and hide the ends inside the octopus. I will make a secondary video showing that if it's necessary, or if you want me to. Right now I'm just finishing up the legs, and then I do show the final octopus at the end. Let me know if you like this voiceover style video. This is my first time doing it. Or if you like me talking to you as I'm making them. Or if you would just prefer the captions that I put on the videos. Which style works best for you? Here I